We are living in an era of diversity, which is empowered by the various nations standing on this planet. You are living in one of the 195 countries existing here. And this number will probably increase within the next centuries. My name is Ziad and I am the robot version of myself. The actual person doesn't feel capable of teaching, so I do. Our planet is extremely huge and has diverse regions. You can see mountains, large bodies of water, plains, national parks, snowy terrains, forests, deserts and so on. All those places or almost belong to a specific country, or more, depending on the place. Anywhere you go on land, you will be in a particular state. Wherever you are, you have probably dreamed once about creating your own territory and leading it. This is a dream that I've also got. This would extraordinary, despite the fact that all the lands are taken, if we could create our own country. And guess what? This is possible. I am going to explain you how to achieve this objective. The first thing you need to do is to define a territory. You must search somewhere to settle your country. You can't take something that has already been taken, so you have to look for a free land. There are currently 4 territories that haven't been claimed by a country yet. However, those places are often protected by a treaty and you have to deal with it. An unclaimed territory is called Terra Nullius. The first one is Antarctica. Even though this territory is ruled by 7 countries, which are Argentina, the United Kingdom, Norway, Australia, France, New Zealand and Chile, there's still a free territory called LIBERLAND. The size of this land is about 1,610,000 kilometers square. This is as big as Iran or 4.5 times Germany. The United States organized several missions on this area, such as the Operation Deep Freeze, or a camp was operated at the Ford Ranges, supporting a part of a United States Antarctic program AIRBONE survey initiated by UCSB and supported by the University of Texas Institute for Geophysics. Actually, you can't easily take over this place. LIBERLAND, which is unclaimed by legitimate countries, and the Antarctic Treaty prevents countries claiming it. Nonetheless, only 53 countries are part of this treaty, so theoretically nothing should stop the other countries claiming it. But there's another problem. This is extremely hard to live there. Antarctica is home of the greatest cold records. It is the home of the blizzards and white deserts. There's practically nothing there except snow over and over thousands of kilometers, which is basically water. We don't know what kinds of natural resources so far are there, as it hasn't been fully explored yet. Thankfully, LIBERLAND is one of the warmest places in Antarctica. The temperatures are really livable. However, those can decrease up to -30 degrees Celsius, or -22 degrees Fahrenheit. Antarctica is one of the toughest places to live in and also reach from the rest of the world. The closest country is Chile, which is 8,500 kilometers far from the United States, 12,000 kilometers far from the United Kingdom, and 20,000 kilometers far from China. Those places are the main population centers in the world. This can get extremely hard for people to travel there and live there. This is impossible to make any agricultural activity nor roads. You must innovate a completely new way of building in order to deal with the natural environment. The second one is TAWIL, meaning in Arabic Egyptian, tall water well. It is a fascinating 2,000 kilometers square desert along the borders between Sudan and Egypt, belonging to nobody so far. The region is mostly sand and rock, with no roads or permanent inhabitants. In 1899, it was actually the United Kingdom, as usual, that ran the show in the area. The Anglo-Egyptian Condominium Agreement for Sudan set the border between the territories at the 22nd parallel. However, in 1902, the UK decided to draw a separate administrative boundary, hoping it would better reflect the actual use of the land by tribes in the area. That's why we now have this unclaimed land. Nobody claims it, so it'd be a perfect area to settle our new country. However, TAWIL has no resources, which is why that place stays unclaimed. The third one is the South Sentinel Island. But I think we should forget this place, as it is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Indeed, the people there are especially violent and shun all contact with outsiders. They have only been contacted sporadically in the late 20th century, but since then it has been decided to leave them alone to ensure their tribal way of life. The Indian government administers it, but only as a protectorcy. They don't really claim it as part of India. This is a poor idea to take over this land, as it is only one of the last tribes still existing on the planet, thus we should protect them as well. The fourth one is Liberland, officially called the Free Republic of Liberland, which is a micronation claiming an uninhabited parcel of disputed land on the western bank of the Danube, between Croatia and Serbia. It was proclaimed on the 13th of April 2015 by Czech right libertarian politician and activist Ziad Jedlička. This land is free but requested. If we try to settle there, we get in trouble. If none of those places suits you, you can build your own island. As they did in Dubai, such as Palm Jumeirah, a man-made island of 6.5 kilometers square. Or Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, which has an area of 25 kilometers square. That's truly nothing next to what the Dutch made. In order to face the waters during the 20th century, the island Flevopolder with an area of 970 kilometers square. This is bigger than Bahrain or Singapore. The second thing, you need to have a population. You can start campaigns to make your country popular. You can create a completely new way of living which can attract a lot of people. This isn't easy to find people, but if your plans are well designed, you can still end up with something positive. Remember that you don't need to start big. Just have a small population, then by the time, your population will rise. The third thing to do is to create a government. The success or failure will be determined, in large part, by your leadership in governance. Consider the success of the United States, rooted in a constitution that is at once clear and defined, yet open to interpretation and growth. Without that, it may have fallen into disarray in dozens of small nation-states rather than an arguably united whole. Our government, and our constitution, should be guided by the principles we wish to establish from the start. Your government should introduce laws systems. The fourth thing to do is to create a flag and associate a language. It depends on your artistic point of view. Please, avoid confusing flags as Netherlands and Luxembourg did. For the language, it's up to you. Use a language that doesn't differ too much to neighboring countries. The fifth thing to do is to get recognized. There's not much point in having your own country unless other countries acknowledge your existence. International recognition is what gives a country legitimacy in the international community and what ultimately distinguishes the New Zealands of the world from the Nagorno-Karabachs. This can also open doors to numerous activities such as the Olympiads or international sport contests. To get recognized, you should build bridges between your country and other ones. Creating diplomatic relations is a good way to make that possible. Your relations should be built upon your country's interests. And finally, you have to create an economy. This is very important. You cannot skip this step. You have to create an economy which will strengthen the power of your country. You need to create a new currency. If you're part of the European Union, you can request the use of euros. If you stick to established currencies, you will still need to determine how to fund your government, and the best way to do this may be anathema to the very reason you start your own country taxes. Through taxation, your government will be able to provide essential services such as a power grid, water lines and an army. Once you create your country, you're all set. But then, you have to keep your promises. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. I always write the sources in the description. If you have any ideas for the next video, feel free to express your ideas in the comments section. See you.